Looking at the map right here, let's just do this before we switch maps. That's a relatively safe bet. That would get the president at 262. And again, after that, any one state gets you over the top. Wolf?
We've got a really major projection to make right now. CNN projects that Barack Obama will be reelected president of the United States. He will remain in the White House for another 4 years because we project he will carry the state of Ohio. By carrying Ohio, he wins re-election. The president of the United States defeats Mitt Romney. At this time right now, we have made this projection, so the president wins this battle for the White House. They're excited in Chicago. They're excited at Times Square in New York. They're watching all over the world right now. The president of the United States has been reelected right now. Let's listen into some of the excitement. So you can see the Empire State Building now has turned blue because that is our projection. The President of the United States has won re-election. Let the world know that at 11:18 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States, we projected this win, the re-election of Barack Obama for another 4 years. The president will be the winner. Mitt Romney will lose this election.
Warren supporters, again, it's very tough to hear. Tell me how excited you were to hear her victory speech.
Sorry, what?
How do you feel about the win tonight?
Sorry?
How do you feel about the win tonight?
It is a monumental win for everyone in this country, especially the women voters. I think this is a lot of progress.
We had heard he was making his way from his home in Chicago to that room right there. It was a public park 4 years ago. It's an indoor space, McCormick Place this year. Kristen Welker, White House correspondent, inside that room. Kristen, what's it like?
Well, Brian, I think it is safe to say that the mood has gone from excited to electric. Just take a moment to take it all in. The crowd cheering as they realize President Obama has won Ohio and re-election. Everyone here essentially erupted with excitement. Take a listen. Brian, this crowd started gathering several hours ago. It has just grown exponentially. These are the people who have clocked the most time volunteering their time, their energy to getting this president reelected. At times, as we have covered, it didn't seem like it would be possible. It has been a close race, a razor-tight race until really we have just witnessed the results here tonight. This president who made history back in 2008, it appears, doing it again tonight. His supporters erupting with excitement and pride, really. Brian?
For people just joining us, as we watch these pictures of celebrations from Chicago to New York, President Barack Obama has become the fourth Democrat in the last 100 years to be elected to a second term. At the age of 51, he has been calling this his last campaign. He will now become a two-term Democratic president.
Let's go to ABC News right now. First.
This is an ABC News special report. Your voice, your vote. Election night 2012. Here again, Diane Sawyer and George Stephanopoulos.
And here we mark the time. Here we are. Ohio is in. We are projecting the battleground state of Ohio for President Barack Obama, which means you are looking at the President of the United States. Barack Obama has been reelected, the 44th president. Listen to the crowd out in Times Square. The man who came in promising the audacity of hope 4 years ago will now have a chance to promise possibility, a new future for the next 4 years. Coming up, George.
Another chapter in an improbable journey. It is well to remember right now that just 10 years ago, Barack Obama was a state senator in Illinois. Now he is a re-elected president of the United States. A very different campaign from 4 years ago. 4 years ago, he rode a wave into office, a wave of hope and change. This time, running for re-election, he had to try to beat a wave back, a wave of economic discontent. He did it with a campaign that was brutal on Mitt Romney, but also brilliant in its organizing, turning out the vote. Matthew Dowd, a huge victory.
The economy had suffered, where he had a right direction number that everybody thought he could get beaten. This is going to, both sides are going to have to reflect on this, because there's many misconceptions and problems that happen, but I think the Republicans are really faced with. The polls were right. All the polls were right that Republicans argued against and said, no, 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 we're going to do it differently. We're going to compose a different electorate. It didn't happen, and they're going to have to face a future where there's no leader of the party and an electorate that is much to their disadvantage.
He